Tuesday is the big release. Also, Friday is another big day for the low income. We have some big and important announcements this week, and I have all the details for you in this video, so let's get into it right away. But really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video. Information is changing very rapidly right now, but I am your one and only daily advocate. I'm doing all the research each and every day, boiling it down into these short videos so that you can get the latest details hot off the wire as this information is being released. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get right into the update. All right, so yet again, we have another busy week ahead of us. There are some key dates here that I want to lay out for you in this video that are going to be occurring this week, and these are some pretty big and important announcements, some of which will directly impact the low income and fixed income. I do know that there are a lot of you right here in this community who are low income and fixed income beneficiaries of all the benefits we've mentioned in previous videos, like Social Security, retirement, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, and RRB, as well as so many others. So I want to lay it all out for you in this video. And here's the deal. If you've been watching the videos for any length of time now, you know that things are changing literally on a daily basis. It is all hands on deck lately, and that's the deal with what I'm doing here, is I'm keeping you posted with everything going on. So let's talk through these one day at a time here. All right, so first off, I quickly want to talk about Tuesday and what we can anticipate as far as this announcement. There's going to be a pretty big announcement happening on Tuesday, and I want to give you the details on this because this is an announcement that comes out once per month, and there's going to be a lot of people watching this, and honestly, the reports that I've been seeing so far today, there's some people out there that are getting a little bit nervous as far as what is going to be released right away tomorrow. Let me tell you the details. This is going to be the latest CPI, Consumer Price Index number, for the month of March. Now, what does this mean? This is the inflation number. Remember, we got the last inflation number in mid-March last time for the month of February. It came in at 7.9%. Well, the estimates now are all over the board. I've seen estimates anywhere between 8.3% all the way up to 9%. Well, we're going to get that number right away on Tuesday morning, and I'll keep you posted with that because that is going to be a big release, and that is going to tell us where inflation is going as of the month of March. So this is going to be a big number here, and there's a lot of people out there saying, I'm a little bit nervous as far as what this number is going to be because there's anticipation it is going to be big. Well, as we've talked about in previous videos, and according to what I've still been seeing in some reports here, there are analysts and experts out there, economists, that are coming out saying, there's no doubt about it, we're going to be over 10% inflation here before long. At the rate that we're going right now, it's likely going to be here within the next couple months. So within probably summertime, we're only a couple of months out from summer, and realistically, we're probably going to be pushing 10% by then. However, that may actually be a good thing for the fixed income like Social Security, SSDI, retirement, survivors, and SSI, as well as VA beneficiaries. We can get into that a little bit more here in a separate video or possibly a little bit later in this one. All right, so that is on Tuesday, a big report there. I'll keep you posted on that one as well. And again, this may actually spur those individuals in Congress to actually encourage them to come out and change the way that the cost of living adjustment is actually calculated to better reflect the actual prices that those older adults, the seniors, the Social Security beneficiaries are actually paying through all of the increased expenses, right? So anyway, I'll keep you posted on that as we do get more details. All right, let's fast forward quickly to Friday. Now, don't get me wrong. Between Tuesday and Friday, I guarantee you there's going to be some pretty big announcements on those days as well, as there pretty much are every day of the week. But again, I want to point out the day of Friday because this is going to be another big one that will directly impact those people who are low income, fixed income, especially SSI and Medicaid beneficiaries as well, including SNAP beneficiaries. So we're talking like 50 plus million people without even really calculating all that well. At least 50 million people are going to be impacted here, probably more like close to 100 million people. So a huge percentage of people out there. All right, so here's what it is. The Public Health Emergency Declaration will be expiring as of the end of the day on Friday. Yeah, as of right now, there has not been an extension on this. So, not really sure why they're waiting until the very last minute to come out and announce an extension on this thing. But as of right now, considering no announcement, we have to anticipate this thing is going to be expiring. Now, you might be wondering, why do we care? What does this matter to us? Why do we really care about this? Well, we care about it for a variety of different reasons. One being for those people receiving Medicaid right now. Well, here's the deal. As soon as the public health emergency declaration actually does expire, and again, that's going to be, as of right now, the end of the day on Friday, unless they come out here sometime today or over the next few days here, sometime between now and Friday, and they announce an actual extension of this thing. Now, I do anticipate that happening, but at the same time, you never know. We don't know anything until we get that official announcement. Can't promise anything until we get the announcement and the official, signed paper that says, okay, done deal, it's extended, right? So at this point, we have to anticipate it's going to be extended. However, here's the deal. For those of you who are receiving Medicaid, if you've signed up in the last couple years here, here's what's happened. Since the public health emergency declaration has been put in place, they have not gone through and purged anybody out of Medicaid. In other words, they're basically just allowing anybody who applies for Medicaid to essentially start to get services. Now, again, I know it's a little bit more detailed than that, but that's essentially what's been happening. Now, this has been going on for the last 2 years. Here's what's happening. I just read a report on this a couple days ago. What they're anticipating as of right now is there's about 12.9 million people receiving Medicaid right here, right now, who essentially will probably be losing benefits as a result of the public health emergency declaration expiring. That's not good. That is not a good thing at all. So nearly 13 million people essentially basically out of luck when it comes to Medicaid. Not a good thing at all, right? So we either need a long-term solution put into place on this, or we need them to extend out the public health emergency declaration a little bit longer until they can either get a longer-term solution put in place, or we can do something to help out these 13 million people or thereabouts so that they don't automatically and abruptly lose benefits from Medicaid. So that's one thing right there. So that's something we need to watch closely. Next, when it comes to SNAP benefits, I know that there's a handful of states out there right now that are still sending out the extra allotment on a monthly basis, $95. Does that ring a bell? Probably, because there's a lot of people out there that are still receiving it. There's a handful of states that are still sending out the extra allotment on a monthly basis, which gives you a minimum of $95 on your SNAP benefit. However, here's the problem. When the public health emergency declaration ends, well, unfortunately, that is going to be the case, whereas that extra allotment of $95 will no longer actually be implemented. It'll no longer be sent out. Here's what also is interesting. I just read a new report on this, and honestly, I was actually going to talk about this the other day, but I completely forgot about it, so let me tell you the details about it now. The USDA has come out just a couple days ago in a separate report talking about food prices in 2022. Well, no surprise, just like everything else out there, food prices are anticipated to continue to move much higher here throughout the course of 2022. On average, we're expecting to see anywhere between 5.5 and 6.5 inflation on food. Yeah, great, right? Just what we want to know. To spend more money on bread, cereals, oatmeal, I was going to say, literally everything. Eggs, literally everything that we buy out there is expected to go up about between 5.5 and 6.5% this year alone. Now, generally, food prices go up about 2% on an annualized basis. So this is about 3 times as much as food generally goes up on a yearly basis. So you can see here, that's a big, big increase on foods. Now, again, I have to throw this out there as well. For those items that are meat products, pork, beef, chicken, things like this, again, these are expected to move up anywhere between about 7 and 9% this year alone. And one more thing I want to throw out there as well is anything made with wheat, corn, and barley, again, likely going to be going up much, much higher. Here's why. Because not many people may know this, and honestly, I didn't really know this until I read the reports on this, but apparently Ukraine and Russia are 2 major producers of these grains, as in wheat, barley, and corn. As a result of that, they produce 6% of the total grains in the entire world, so of these 3 grains. Well, the problem is, a lot of these grains are either locked up in these 2 countries where they can't be exported right now because of, the whole global situation going on right now, or the situation is they won't be able to get out into the fields and actually plant and do everything that they need to do for this growing season of 2022. Therefore, they're actually calling on a world food shortage. That is not a good thing. We never want to hear those words. Seriously, there's over 7 billion people on Earth right now, and a lot of our food comes from what they harvest, as in the entire global economy, right? So what farmers harvest on an annualized basis from the growing season of 2022. It's very, very important. When they grow all these grains like wheat, barley, corn, soybeans, all of these different grains that are grown on an annualized basis, basically, our entire food supply is stemming from all of that food, right? Or from all of those grains. Another thing, too, you might be thinking, well, I don't eat that stuff. Trust me, you probably eat some of that stuff. All of these grains that we're talking about here are in so many different things. And let's just say that you don't eat that stuff. Okay, that's fine, too. But guess what? All of the livestock also eats this stuff, right? So livestock that farmers feed to their livestock, they also eat all of these grains. So it's a big, big deal. If there's two major producers out there that cannot actually get into the grounds and plant their crops and, export the crops that they're actually growing, this is going to lead to a massive a global food shortage, which is exactly what some of these big agencies are saying right now. That's scary. Honestly, we never, ever want to hear these words. Anytime that we talk about a global food shortage, your ears might want to perk up a little bit. Seriously, that is a scary, scary thing because we can only produce so much food on an annualized basis, right? We only get one growing season a year. Well, depending on, I guess, where you're located in the country or in the world, but the deal is essentially you basically get one growing season a year. And if you can't get the crops to grow and you can't harvest those crops, which we're seeing in some countries around the world right now, that's not going to be a good thing, especially from major players in the game like Ukraine and Russia. Anyway, just want to throw that out there as long as we were talking about food right there. But anyway, some major dates here coming up. One more bonus date I have for you. If anybody's still watching, I'll throw this one out there. I know that there's a lot of you in this community who do not file taxes, but you know what? I'll throw this out there anyway. Monday, the 18th, April 18th, is going to be tax day. So generally it is April 15th, but not this year. It's Monday, April 18th. So here's the deal. I'm going to throw this out there, but again, this is not tax advice. This is not accounting advice. I am not your accountant. I'm just some guy on the internet, right? So here's the thing I want to say for you. You got to have your tax returns postmarked by the 18th. But again, you got to do your own research on this. This is not tax advice in any way, shape, or form, but just letting you know if you need to file a tax return, you probably want to get that done before the end of the day on the 18th, and make sure you get that thing in the mail so it gets a stamp on it that shows the 18th. So anyway, just want to make sure that you know that, just because penalties from the IRS are probably not something we want to be playing with these days. One more thing I want to throw out there as well, really quickly, and I had no plans on talking about this, but again, I'll throw it out there just in case. For any of you who are still awaiting a tax refund from 2018, well, you only got about a week to go until you can claim that. The IRS announced the other day that they have $1.5 billion still sitting in the books right now that are still awaiting tax refunds from 2018. If you don't claim it by the 18th of April, well, it's too late. The IRS will keep that money. So just throwing it out there, just letting you know that that money is still available. $1.5 billion on the table from the IRS. And it's out there. You got to claim it within the next week or so. This is from 2018, by the way. They give you 3 years to do it, and the 18th of April this year is the last day that you can claim that money. So anyway, just wanted to throw it out there. Just hoping you can grab some money, and just want to help you out in any way that I can. So again, these are the updates I have for you as of right now. Of course, I'll continue watching everything closely. As I do get more details on anything, I'll be right back here for you, breaking it down, helping you out in any way that I possibly can. So if you haven't done so, make sure to subscribe down below. It's totally free to do so. Share this video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other nearly 2,400 videos right here on the channel. Please enjoy your day. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you again later in the next update.